Hey, good morning, Jacques. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. I'm talking to Garth Brooks.
Entering his second year as the LSU head football coach.
It was the only way I could get a foot in the door.
Joined by the icon, Kim Mulkey. Hey, Coach, great to see you. All right, it's great now to be joined by the quarterback of the 2003 national champions at LSU. He's done some great content with us over the years. Still up there in Denver, Colorado, Matt Mauck. Matt, good to see you.
Great to see you, Jacques. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's that time of year. Tiger's about to kick off. Does it bring any extra excitement to you this time of year?
It does, yeah. I always when I think everybody that's played there just has a special place in their heart for LSU, and so you always root for the team. Wish I was a little bit closer to be more involved, but several thousand miles away, but still feel like I cheer just as loud.
Just to catch people up, you and your family, you've lived in Denver for a long time, right?
Yeah, since 2004. Well, I lived in Tennessee for a little bit, but yeah, 21 years.
Yeah, well, you technically won the national championship of January of 04. So basically, since you left, you've been there in Denver. So you obviously like it, great people, climate, all that stuff.
It is, yeah. I think I grew up in Indiana, so I'm kind of used to four seasons. So I think it's probably the best four-season city you can get.
Good deal. Awesome. Well, the latest and greatest. So I don't know if Tommy Hodson's mad or not, because Tommy was 13. And for the longest time, there was no other quarterback at LSU that wore 13. And here's Nussmeier, And so now he's going to turn it in for the very esteemed behind you, number 18. So just your thoughts on that whole process.
Yeah, I think you couldn't have picked a better person, in my opinion. So I said this, someone had texted me about it, and I said, I think in today's college football, loyalty and hard work aren't rewarded as much as they should be. And I don't blame the coaches. I think it's just the nature of what it is. But Nuss not only is a great player, a great person, but he's done LSU right. He stayed. He could have gone someplace else. He said, "No, I love it here. I'm going to be successful here, and I want to. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it here." So I've rooted for him more probably than anybody else, just because of that. Because he's kind of the antithesis of what college football is right now, and I'm extremely appreciative of that.
I saw you FaceTimed him, obviously. Have you met him in person? Have you gotten to know him at all a little bit?
Yeah, I've met him 2 or 3 times in person. So every time I come back, I get to see him. I took my boys to a spring practice and got to hang out with them a little bit. Yeah, he's as genuine as it gets. So I'm really excited for him, and I think it was a great choice.
How does it make you feel now that you're, I guess, roughly twice the age of the LSU starting quarterback?
Well, my oldest is a sophomore playing college football at University School of Mines and Colorado School of Mines, and so yeah, kind of these could be my kids. So yeah, a little weird.
Yeah, boom, like that, flashes, goes by that quickly.
It does.
And then Brian Kelly, LSU head coach, he also said he thought it was good that the number moved back to the quarterback position as well. I mean, you know what you sign up for when you go to play for LSU quarterback, but just your feelings that when he drops back to throw, we'll be seeing that for the first time in 22 years.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's and I mean honestly, this sometimes gets made about me, but it's really not. I mean, I think this was myself and Jacob Hester kind of came about. So it's a cool tradition. I would love it even if I wasn't the one that kind of started it. But I think to come back to the quarterback room is a little extra special this year.
Yeah, it is a relatively new tradition. It's not like the white jerseys or some of the things that go back, long ways. I mean, 22 years ago isn't that long ago. So just for people who don't know, I mean, obviously you wore it. LSU wins their first national championship in roughly 50 years. Then Jacob Hester is kind of the guy that you kind of say, okay, you take this jersey now.
Well, and it didn't even, I mean, honestly, Jacob just got it. So that's kind of the interesting part about I said to Jack Marucci, Tommy Moffitt, Greg Stringfellow, and Michael Bonnet, we were all sitting around and I kind of said, hey, we just can't give this to anybody. And actually, it was funny. Stringfellow's like, oh well, Hester's getting it. I said, an evangel guy. I said, we can't have an evangel guy wearing this. Joking, but ended up. I got to know Jacob a little bit, and so I was like, oh, this is awesome. I said, you're the perfect fit for this. And then he and I got together after that, and we're like, hey, we gotta we gotta get the right person every year to do this. So and it kind of took off from there. So I think it's a new tradition, but I think what's really cool about it is it's not about one person. It gets tied back to me because I was the first to do it, and won a national championship after a long time, and hopefully represented myself the right way when I was there. But I think what's neat about it is it's everything that should be good about being a student athlete and being at LSU. And I think that's what makes it resonate with a lot of people.
You grew up in Indiana, like you said, so you didn't grow up here in Louisiana around LSU football and whatnot. But what did you learn about the fact I'm the starting quarterback at LSU and what comes with that? I think Garrett's father, Doug, says it's a great responsibility. He understands his responsibility, right? You don't want to be the guy in the back of the police car or any of that stuff, right? So how did you represent, or how did you try, and what did you realize about, wow, I'm the starting quarterback at LSU?
Yeah, I mean, I was just me. I didn't really need to do anything different. I just tried. I mean, I feel like my mom and dad did a great job in teaching me the right way to act and how to behave. But I think when I got there, you don't realize how important LSU football is to so many people in Louisiana and so many kids that kind of look up to that position. And so everything you say, everything you do gets kind of blown up 10 times what it would normally be. So, yeah, I think it's a blessing to be the starting quarterback, but there's a lot of pressure that kind of comes with it too.
Yeah. Matt Mauck isn't that old. The internet did exist when you played at LSU.
Barely just started it.
Yeah, it's been up and running for about 5, 6 years, something like that. But now with a billion social media platforms and this ocean of people who talk about football and criticize it and critique it and whatnot, what about today being an athlete out there? And as Coach Joe would say, block out the noise. How do you do it today?
Yeah, Michael Jordan would not like being an athlete today, for sure. Yeah, I think it's I get it. People want access and all that stuff, but I don't know. I just I don't find myself all that interesting. So why someone would want to know every little detail about me, I don't get it. Where I went to dinner or what kind of sneakers I wear. I just all of it is it's a bit much for me. And I think the 24-hour news cycle. It's good sometimes to have a break and not know everything.
So Nussmeier now, so he gets a Gordon McKernan deal. And I wonder now, when people are sponsoring you, do you still just be the quarterback you've always been and do your job, or do you even feel more pressure now that, if I go out and throw 3 interceptions in a game, these people that put me up on billboards are going to be let down?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think what people don't realize is the pressure that you feel. It's great running out in front of 100,000 people, but you're quite aware if you don't play well, whether you're getting paid or whether you're not for that. I think the interesting part of the NFL is before in the NFL when guys would get their contract, it was how did they play after that? Did they do it because they love it and they care about it? I think the nice part for the NFL is they're getting to see that now. A guy gets paid an NIL deal, whatever it is. Is he the same person? Is he trying as hard? Is he working as hard? For the NFL, I think it's great. But for college football fans, I think it's terrible a lot of times.
Yeah. When you watch Nussmeier play, what do you see? You see a guy that can make all the throws.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, I think he's, I mean, this is a good comparison and a bad comparison, but, he kind of reminds me of Brett Favre a little bit. Kind of, throws off his back foot sometimes. He's got such a strong arm, makes up for it. But what I noticed last year, is how much he progressed, in his reads, and being safe with the ball. I think when you're the quarterback, people sometimes go, "Oh, Matt Mauck, he was a game manager." I don't. I don't take offense to that. I look at that as, yeah, I was smart. This guy's a better athlete than me. He should probably have the ball before I do. So I think Ness kind of realized the weapons that he had around him, and that, hey, if I just, I don't always have to hit the home run. If I can kind of dink and dunk here and then take the shot, that's way better for the team.
Well, and then you had an amazing defense too, right? So you don't need to take as many chances. Punting isn't a bad thing. I know you don't like to punt, but then,
Yeah.
the flip side with him last year, the defense isn't doing their job and he can't run the ball, then maybe he's trying to do too much, right? And that's when
Without a doubt. Yeah. I think last year that was the inability to be effective all the time with the run, put a lot more pressure on him than what needed to be, and so hopefully this year we get a little bit better at the running attack.
yeah. Let's see what I was going to ask you next about that. This season opener, okay? So it was scheduled 8 years ago, and I think at the time the fans were complaining about the neutral site games, right? Hey, we want games in Tiger Stadium. Stop playing in Arlington and all these others, Atlanta. So now to get Clemson to come to your stadium, you got to go there. But now fans are saying we've lost all these games to start the season. Why are we playing this hard game, right? So
Yeah.
your thoughts on having to go to Clemson and play?
I'm a big fan of playing teams out of conference. I don't know about the first game, but I like it. I would rather be the second game. But I think if we're going to do this, I do think in college football, the home team has a big advantage of that. And LSU, I mean, we're used to playing in big stadiums and things like that, but with the transfer portal and all this going on, honestly, each year, even if you have, you know, 8 returning starters, you still got probably, 6 guys from different schools that are just learning your system and what it's about. So I think these games are very difficult, and there'll be less and less of them if we can't get the transfer portal under control.
Well, not to bring up a bad memory, Matt Mauck, but 2002, you go to
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, and that was rough, right? I mean, first game of the year, you're on the offensive side. They always say the defense is ahead of the offense in these season openers and timing and whatnot. So, and I think they played a game before you guys. That was kind of an underhanded deal they did.
Yeah, they played a game, and then the game was like 11 o'clock or so. I mean, it was not great for us. It
Sunday.
was an early. What's that?
It was a Sunday when you played them. I remember I went to church and then you played in the afternoon after
Yeah,
two.
it was. I just remember it was hot, sunny. I kind of thought, hey, I came to LSU. I thought we were supposed to play at night. What's going on here?
Right. Dominic Davis took back a punt and then it got called back. I think that was the.
Yeah, I threw a pick shy one carry, hit him in the hands, kicked it off his heel, and that was my first interception. Don't hit him in the hands.
Threw it in the wrong spot. So a lot has been made about Nussmeier year 1 to year 2 as a starter. I guess kind of similar to you. You were there for a while before you truly played. You spot duty here and there, right? 2001 SEC championship game, kind of part of your finest hour there to win the championship. But how much better did you think you were in year 2 as a starter as year 1?
Well, for me, because I got injured, I was almost a totally different player, where I went from being a running type quarterback to a kind of a pocket passer. But I think just the repetitions you get in practice are the biggest difference for that. So I think I think Nuss is the type of quarterback that takes advantage of that. But if you can really kind of hone your craft in practice, it makes such a big difference. And just understanding the offense, and what to do in different scenarios. So I think it's going to be. he was good last year. I think he's going to be even better this year.
Yeah. In talking to Herb Tyler, he expects to make a big jump. He doesn't know about Heisman Trophy or all that, and that's kind of out of your hands anyway. I mean, that's up to somebody else. But the improvement, we look forward to that, and he's got a lot more people to throw the ball to. It looks like this year with the guys they got from the portal and so forth.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without it. And I think, I mean, from everything I hear, again, I'm not as close as I would like to be, but everything I hear is the defense, especially the defensive line, is way better than what we've been the last 3 or 4 years. So hopefully that will help out.
Well, I had your teammate and your friend Jack Hunt on the other day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We had a good conversation. He complimented you. We also talked about the Ole Miss game. He said thanks a lot for putting us down 7-0 in that game.
Yeah. Oh, that's part of your job as a leader is to test your teammates. See, that's what it is.
That's right. We're going to spot them 7 points. All right, defense, and see what you can do here.
Yeah.
But he had talked about he can't believe how far the defense has fallen in like recent memory, and looking for offense is harder to defend now than it was back then, but still they should be better than what they've been. So hopefully it's a return to that LSU defense.
Yeah. The last couple times I've come back for games, and you go to practice, go in the locker room, and it didn't look the same. It didn't look like a typical LSU locker room where everyone looked like they came out of a genetic lab type thing. And so this past spring, when I kind of look back to the old days, and so and I don't know how that works out. Sometimes it's you get the right guy, they don't work hard in the weight room, they don't grow, or now he transferred out, and they're missing on 2 or 3 big guys. It makes a difference. I mean, it's a huge difference in a recruiting class. But we definitely looked the part. It seemed moving forward. So I'm very excited about this year.
All right, where will you be watching the game this weekend? And how does Matt Mauck watch a game? You like to be by yourself? You like to be with friends?
Yeah, completely by myself. I'm even worse when I'm watching my kids. So I don't. I tell people who are sitting next to me, I was like, "Don't talk to me." I'm just. You will start a conversation, and I will say, "Oh yeah," and then you won't hear from me for like 10 minutes. So I'm like that with LSU football. I would much prefer watching it by myself or a few people, so I can kind of concentrate on what's going on.
So you're never going to be the guy up in the wine and cheese, what do they call that, the stadium club, where the game's kind of going on and I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like being up in Jack Hunt's suite up there. Okay, that's how it is. All right, I'm a real fan. All right. Actually, to Jack's credit, he says that all the time. He goes, I've got this. He goes, but he's out in the actual seats the entire time.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the heat and everything, and going to a game, and he's got 4 girls, right? And it's a lot of wrangling people up to make it in there and everything. What are your thoughts on Kyle Williams joining the coaching staff and now coaching the D line?
Awesome. I think Kyle was a great teammate, a good friend, and I think he'll be a great addition to that staff. I mean, talk about a guy that had a unbelievable NFL career that a lot of people have never heard of. It's just, I mean, got put up in Buffalo, but I mean, if you look at his, I mean, he was top 3, top 4 defensive lineman in the whole league for a while, interior lineman, and really didn't get. I mean, he got the credit in Buffalo, but not outside of Buffalo for how good he was. And I would say even at LSU, I don't feel like he gets. You have Glenn Dorsey, you've got Lavallee, Marcus Spears. I mean, Kyle Williams arguably is better than all those guys.
Yeah, and it's interesting too to say, well, he didn't have a whole lot of experience. Well, it's because he was a great player, right? I mean, the Sean Paytons of the world and those guys who are great coaches, their NFL careers didn't last too long, so they went into coaching a little quicker. So.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I don't think you need. I think a lot of times, when you're a head coach or a coordinator, experience is extremely important. I think as a position coach, now if he was from New Jersey or something, it'd be different. He's from Louisiana. I mean, his recruiting won't be a problem for Kyle Williams, and the ability, I think, sometimes to actually. I remember, the Broncos coaches come in here. We do the Broncos, so I get to talk to a lot of coaches. And this big trend in the NFL is all these younger guys because they, the metrics and all this stuff. And I remember the old guys like, yeah, but they don't teach football because they don't teach technique. Yeah, you can, draw stuff up, break down film better than I can. He goes, but guys still need to know like technique and how to play. And Kyle Williams definitely will be an advantage for that.
Awesome. All right. Well, I won't keep you too long today. I appreciate you joining me. I'll have you on during the season if that's all right with you. So,
No, always love it.